Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel, and welcome back to Blokees, where we are taking a look at a different product than the standard Galaxy version that we have normally looked at on this channel. This is Galaxy version Defender. You've seen these in the news roundup. They come across as like a much more chibi looking take on their Galaxy version block figures. However, these are also far smaller than the standard Blokees that we have. These are far more pocket-sized. Let's take a look on the back, and you see we actually have a wide variety of what we can get here. So Optimus, Megatron, Thundercracker, Prowl, Scavenger, Shattered Glass Sideswipe. We also have a glittering Ironhide, which means translucent, brilliant Bumblebee, which means metallic. Two chase variants for Optimus and Megatron. The first is just metallic, which is the standard chase variant. And then if you get super lucky, 1 in 144 of each, there is a ultra rare chase for each that includes extra parts. They both get big backpack accessories and extra cannons to wear. The back accessory for Optimus is the Cybertron Galaxy Force Optimus Prime wings. I have never wanted a chase figure as badly as I do this one. Like a little pocket-sized Cybertron Optimus with those wings. Yes. Absolutely yes. I would love to have that, please. Let me open this up and... Oh, this is glued very, very well. Hang on. What do we get? Ooh. That's a Shattered Glass Sideswipe. All right. So, take a look. This is what you get. Look at how tiny. Look at all the tiny little parts that we have going on here. Now, this is simplified from a standard Blokees. Things obvious like, here's a pelvis that is not in separate parts. However, there's a lot of parts that still feel very familiar. The legs, for instance, pretty much go together the way the Blokees always do, with the advent of the ball stem is already attached. So this is going to feel very similar, but it's also a much quicker build than your standard Blokee. So as I usually do with these, I'm going to build this guy off to the side so you can see how long it takes, and then future me is going to tell you about the rest of the wave. So let's get to it. Thank you, past me. And as always, we're going to start with Optimus Prime because every wave seems to have an Optimus Prime. And here's the thing. For starters, there's your standard size Blokee compared to one of these. This is a pretty big size change here. Whereas these are nice desktop size figures. Yeah, these are absolutely pocket size. Nice for having a little toy in your pocket on the go if you really want to have a little dude on an adventure or something. Or if you just have such limited desk space and you want an army of these, perfect size for that. They're actually so small that I currently do not have a camera that can get really, really sharp focus on these guys. It is literally beyond all of my lenses. So, you know what? You're still getting a good idea. Like, they are still very, very nice figures. The sculpting is not cheaped out just because of the size. You can get a good idea of Optimus Prime from all of this. It just looks just really, really cool. You can still see they do put the effort in on things like the tampograph. It has like that windshield shine to it. A little matrix can be seen inside. Very tiny details, but it is there. Autobot symbol tampographed in. Helmet well painted. Eyes, as you saw during the build, or will see during the build. I don't know where in the build it is at the moment. The eyes are a separate part that you plug in. So they have some depth to them. And nothing is going to be at risk of wearing out, which is also nice as well. And then, yeah, you got a little bit of tampograph on the front to get his stripe and his grill in. It's a pretty nice, tiny version of Optimus Prime. Now, the big thing on these is, for the size, you are still getting a good level of articulation. You have the head that rotates all the way around and up and down ball joint motion. Really, really nice to see. Shoulders, ball jointed, universal movement. Ball joints in the elbows means that they do swivel as well as bend. You have a ball joint at the wrist, so there's a little bit of bend around, and then, of course, rotation there as well. The waist also rotates. It's also on a ball joint, so you have a little bit of rock. Not much, but just a little bit. Good for subtlety. Hips universal because of the ball joints in the knees as well. Pretty much all of the assembly on these is ball joints, so you are getting a lot of range of motion. If you played with Beast Wars toys, you basically know how these guys are built. And then, of course, the ankle, up and down, left and right, swivel, everything. All very, very nicely articulated in a very, very tiny package. The only thing that bothers me is obviously I did not get the chase. It's not even metallic, so the quest continues. Now, technically, though, I did finally get a chase in this box. But it's not the winged one I wanted, it's the metallic Megatron. It's not the one with the extra backpack and big cannon accessories, but it's still a pretty cool look. This design always looks good in metallic silver as opposed to the flat gray. Love to see it. So yeah, there's my first chase. It is Megatron in a very shiny form. Just like the others, he does keep a pretty good standard as far as paint and tampagraphing. Tampagraphs on these little figures are really doing a lot of heavy lifting. You can see in the midsection he's got them. They're on the front of the legs in order to bring out some extra detail. The Decepticon symbol, obviously. He does have a little bit of paint going on here. You can see his eyebrows just under the lip of the helmet's edge. See little eyebrows that have been painted in, giving him a little bit more flair. So yeah, it's a pretty cool little Megatron. You look on the back. They all have a little port on the back. So if you do have a light stand that's compatible, you can use those as well. Also, nice to see that the cannon on the shoulder is painted in. Like, everything just done really, really nicely. It's a nice looking Megatron for its size. These are cute. Should I ever have the space to transform one of my city formers, like a Titan Metroplex or something, having an entire horde of these running around on it would be both adorable and awesome looking at the same time. I'm actually tempted to do that now. See, that is Megatron. He is adorable. We'll stick to some of the more standard releases for now, because this set does variety really well. Prowl looking good here. They have simplified the design in order to work in this scale, so you can see the wheels are part of his door wings, which are now all one solid backpack piece painted on the front to give the right look. Yeah, and beyond that, bumper and headlights have been tampagraphed in, all that looking good. You can see the traditional like little spike of the black there for the Japanese style police car, Autobot tampagraph as well. And then obviously lots of detail in the front of the legs to make him look a little bit more robotic. Same great level of posability. Nice bright blue eyes on Prowl as well. Really kind of shining through here. Yeah, this is just adorable. Like the subject of our YouTube short, Thundercracker, which has me very, very excited for a future of tiny little Seekers like this. Thundercracker being one of my favorite Seekers thanks to the IDW run, and again, this is being done very, very well. He doesn't have as many tampagraphs going on, I presume because he's got so many more parts, because he's got to have this big wing pack, and he's got to have the guns going down the sides of his arms. The tampagraphs do come in there, though. You can see the striping, the Decepticon symbols. This is where having a flight stand would really be good. And then the cockpit done up as well. The intakes on the chest also painted up very, very nicely. And yeah, it's just really good looking Thundercracker. The arm cannon, like the arm cannons, like everything else, are able to come on and off. They are pegged in. So if you don't like them there, you can remove them. But it's a Seeker. Why wouldn't you have the arm cannons on the arm? It's just silly. But yeah, looking really, really cool. And like, thanks to the current run of comic books, yeah, Thundercracker's on my mind these days, as he should be. Very, very nice to see. Looking forward to a whole bunch of Seekers in this tiny little style. We're starting in on Constructicons on these. So obviously the larger Blokees figures have already done a full run of Constructicons. Now we start on these tiny little guys. Scavenger here looking really, really nice. Tampagraph's doing heavy work on that chest, giving him a little bit more deco and display. And then bucket. He has his bucket in the back, which is actually articulated. I don't think they had any reason to do this. I don't think they needed to do it at all. But it is hinged, so if you want to pose it around, you absolutely can. But just overall, really, really nice design. Really, really done well. Again, this is one of those where I'd love to see the whole cast together, which I know they will eventually do. Blokees is really good about completing sets of characters. This is just like a taste of it, and it's a good little taste. You know, Constructicons at tiny size are actually rare. Okay, oddball stuff now. Here's the guy that we were building off to the side. Shattered Glass Sideswipe. I don't even think there's a Shattered Glass Sideswipe in the full size yet, and now here we have him in the tiny Defender version. And it's done really, really well. This is the pre-scarred chest version of the character, because he does have like the standard purple Autobot symbol there on the chest. Tampography done pretty well. Really like the shades of color that they got on him. Like that seafoam green is doing really, really well. This is I've always liked the Shattered Glass Sideswipe color scheme. You know, and if you know where it originally comes from, it's kind of like a deep cut homage type thing. But it's nice to see it gaining a little bit of prominence, because it is a nice looking set of colors. Like I really do like the design a lot. And he also does have a unique piece where the shoulder cannon actually does have its own ball stem. It's ball jointed too, so you can fold it away if you need to. But again, why would you? You know, arm your Shattered Glass toys, because they tend to be far more violent. So there we go. He's a really nice again starting off on a collection. I would again love to see more Shattered Glass stuff out of these lines. It's a fun little diversion from your standard ones. Boom. We have glittering Ironhide. Completely translucent form, which is why he looks very interesting. So at this size, I'm not terribly worried about the durability of the translucence. The ball joints here are genuinely, like, for the size of the joints, very thick, you know, proportionally. So I'm not really scared about this one. I don't think anything bad's really going to happen here. But the toy itself, yeah, it's a nice little take on Ironhide. He's got, again, tampographs on the chest, give him a little bit more of a robotic detail, getting the Vans details across as well. It looks neat. Like, red is just one of those colors that in translucent looks really, really pretty. Like it, you know, he gives it across this like ruby look to him that's like really, really neat. I'm actually kind of a fan of this. It does make me want a standard size, standard color one to go with the other rest of the Autobots. But again, what I said about this set is it's good at variety and mixing things up to give you different experiences. So I don't mind this. The same kind of goes for their Bumblebee. And this one is the brilliant Bumblebee. So unlike Megatron and Optimus, who have a chance of being metallic, Bumblebee is just always going to be metallic in this set. And it's a brilliant job of just conveying what that would look like. The gold and silver shade is pretty much perfect. You know, it's a very, very clean looking Bumblebee. Just despite, you know, the fact that it just has metallic colors now. And it's very, very cool looking. Again, I'm sure a standard color Bumblebee is on the way. But for now, like to give the wave a little bit more variety, a little bit more interesting shapes and colors to it. Kind of cool. I will say, because I did forget this, with the Ironhide, you might also get one of these. There's 3 different ones included. You get this little plastic coin, just as a little bonus with the Ironhide, which is neat. I got the Megatron one, which I guess is appropriate considering I got the Chase Megatron. There's a few that I didn't mention because I'm saving it till the end, because this is where this thing gets really weird. Vehicles! This set actually lets you get vehicles of some of these guys. Very, very different and unexpected. So, just as a real quick, here's Bumblebee. And he is in the glittering translucent this time. So, I just want to go in very quickly and just kind of throw this together, because this is not a terribly complex build. So, I just want to get this across, just kind of quickly here. you know, I'm not gonna like cut away for this one because like, yeah, we're basically done already. But again, I've said this about the larger Blokees. I said this in the video about Wave 6. And I don't know if you even, I don't know which video comes out first. But point being, I love inclusions like this because it gives so much more variety. Like if you're sitting there with a case of Blokees and just building over and over again, having that beast mode figure, or in this case, a vehicle figure, is just such a nice switch up and gives it so much more like variety. It's a nice mental break from building the robots over and over again. So to get vehicles in here gives you a completely different type of toy for starters, but also different little building experience. I think it's a nice little thing to include. The Bumblebee looking neat here. You can definitely tell he's got some animated and classics Bumblebee flair to him with that one offset black stripe down the front. The translucent, again, it's a car. I'm not worried about the translucent on this guy. Tamper-graph windshield looking good. Like, this is neat. This is neat. Just have, like, both of them on display with each other. Yeah, it's actually kind of rare to have the same character design, you know, in vehicle and robot at the same time. This can go along with Thundercracker, who's also done really well. Now, this is a lot of tamper-graphs to convey him really well. Really liked seeing this. And again, gonna be great when they do a whole bunch of Seekers and you have like a miniature swarm of these guys. I've got all of the Generations ones, like the Tetrajet ones that were only on Cybertron, the Earthrise ones. And the only reason why I haven't put all of them together and shown all of them at once is it's gonna be a lot. They're big figures to transform all day for those shots. But this, cute little jets just already done. Yeah. Also, port on the underside. Now we really need to find a flight stand for these guys, especially if we're going to get more of them. Scavenger gets one too, which I think is an interesting choice amongst all of these to do. Again, the bucket scooper actually works. A lot of these just kind of like pushing around as if they did have their full rotation, you know, full wheels and all that is about the only, like you play with them like normal toy vehicles. So to add a little bit of an action feature into this one, and to make it feel much more like a bucket loader, that's a much appreciated thing. And he's nicely detailed too. He's got the silver down the sides, the caution stripes are on the front, the canopy for the driver is done in a nice little color. It's a nice little construction vehicle. I'm fully expecting someone to figure out how to do a Devastator out of these. Though I am now looking. That's a ball joint socket on the underside of this vehicle. That's a port on the back where maybe a forearm could go. I'm suddenly very excited for more waves of these. Oh, that's an interesting thing to notice on camera. And we're going to finish up with Optimus Prime in vehicle mode, and he's a little bit different. He's just a little bit different. So obviously we have his traditional cab over semi-truck design, but on the back we also have the drone unit from his trailer, and that is actually on a double hinge, so it can come up, the blasters can point forward, so he's got a little bit of a battle feature to him, and then handles. So yeah, if you want a little bit more play value, this is actually an interesting way to get it. So one of your Blokees figures can actually hold on to the handles of the gun and ride on the back of Optimus Prime, which is a neat little trick to throw in, you know. The vehicle modes, they make a nice little diversion in your building experience, and they do give you a lot more variety on display, especially the more iconic vehicles like Optimus. But to add a little bit of like just funny play value to this is just like way more charming to me. Like this is actually just fun, you know, which is the whole point. It's very, 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 very cool to have. So that is what Galaxy version Defender is like. You get a lot of weird things going on. You get translucents, you get metallics, you get vehicle modes, you get characters from different universes. Like, this is a really wide range for a single wave. And you know what? I like that. I like that. Like, it keeps things interesting as you are going through an entire box of them. So, as usual with my Blokees videos, if you've liked what you've seen, then please, by all means, go to the link in the description below. We're going to have some more stuff for you Blokees-wise there. And I appreciate anyone who goes and uses that link. So, that's going to do it for me today. That is another interesting and fun wave of Blokees. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. You've been waiting a long time, haven't you? But the wait's almost over. You're about to meet the brightest star in the universe. We're going to make an impact.